a woeful sense of unpreparedness. I've had many talks recently with people of really all different ilks, patriots, conservatives, some liberal or progressive people, a lot of Bitcoiners, and the theme or the thread that's run through really all the segments, quite honestly, is that people are woefully unprepared. Prepared for anything: natural disaster, financial collapse, shelves being bare, many things that we've seen just in the last few years, last few months, all of these things happening. And the insurance buying time we've had over the last year or two of being able to buy non-perishable goods and really stock up on things and become a resource for not only yourself and your family, but for other people as well. When people are unprepared, then they become part of the problem when stuff really hits the fan. And that's when people are gouging and hoarding and running and trampling over other people just to get essential items. And I think this is something that has just been really eating away at me for 2 decades, actually. Coming from a background, growing up in Michigan, traveling up north a lot, as many Michiganders know. We Michiganders say, we're going up north, I'm going up north, or we know people who are going up north, or whatever it might be. And a lot of times going to cottages, that people that you know, going to a lake somewhere, going hunting, whatever it may be. But growing up in a family like that, and my father, who was outdoor man, and working on his everyday carry, working on his firearms, or whatever it may have been, at all times for years and years on end, really starting in his 20s. So growing up like that, and then being able to look around and see this modern world, which I'm guilty, just like other people. I mean, I feel unprepared, and I still have a lot of things I've tried to work on and build my cachet over time of all these different resources, whether it's food storage, water, all these different items you might need, essential items, non-perishable goods, things of that nature, security. And this is something that it still is very easy to overlook in the world we're living in, because it's so easy. The one-stop shop, the Uber Eats, the Instacarts of the world, and all these things going on, and this just-in-time logistics that we have, and we're so used to, even over the last 3 years, still used to having things just available to us. And that's just a blip in the radar, that can't happen again. But again, the frog in the boiling pot strategy that the people that have seemingly that are our leaders are employing in many different ways, whether it's Operation Choke Points and choking you out of the system, whether it's your wealth, your finances, your security, your food, putting things in food for years, the upside down food pyramid from the federal government that we were shilled in government-run schools for decades and decades, and now seeing that as a complete scam. And many things that we've learned, many Bitcoiners have learned, and we've talked about for a while now that when you're in the political sphere on the right or left, you only see a part of the game board. You only see probably about 5 or 10% of the game board, in my opinion, if you're on the left, because much of the world today is a left slant, a progressive slant. So media, pop culture, academics, it's all a left slant. So people on the left generally have a hard time understanding that there is another point of view. And people on the right, at least here in America, know there's 2 points of view. But the problem is both parties, both people, the red and blue, don't understand there's another layer. There's the green layer, the fiat layer that's really distracting everything, or corrupting everything and infesting itself. And that's where the Bitcoiners get to see 90 to 99% of the game board. You never get to see the whole game board, and that's part of life. That's how the game works. But Bitcoiners truly be able to see a 100,000-foot view, backing out and seeing everything that's going on, and being able to move away. My favorite analogy by far is the fiat legacy monetary system is the Titanic going down, and Bitcoiners are on the life raft. Bitcoin is a life raft. It's a new monetary system. It's a new way. It's not just new money. It's not just the purest money we've ever had. It's a new system. It's a complete monetary system, a way of looking at life and realigning all the incentives so that everyone is pulling the same direction, whether it's consumers, producers. And Bitcoiners get to be on this life raft and move away from the sinking legacy Fiat Titanic and say, wow, it really is going down. It's hard to notice when it's slowly slipping beneath the waves, and things, the deck chairs really aren't moving that much yet. It's hard to see sometimes when you're reading the paper saying that the Titanic's unsinkable, the fiat dollar is unsinkable. We have to look around us, though. We have to heed the warning signs. It's the the government's in a slow decline, a slow collapse, coming out and lashing out against its own citizens day after day after day, and taking all the news headlines. When it's the frog in the boiling pot and you only see the one headline at a time, the one day at a time, it's very hard. But when you put things all together, it becomes very clear. So the woeful unpreparedness that we have about us, and people not buying their insurance, not being outside the system in many ways, and being prepared. And hopefully these things never happen. And maybe they don't. I hope and pray they don't, because they will not be good. But being prepared is something that we must do. Men are designed to do this. And women now are becoming taking a more prominent role in all this, and understanding what is going on and preparing their families. And I think that is something that really is something that concerns me, because I'm constantly thinking about, like I said, for the last 2 decades, really since I was in middle school to high school, and something I was very aware of. And then looking around the world and just seeing how unprepared society was for really any challenges. AI, the technology that's coming, all these great things that are coming, they are going to come. But there might be a period. There could possibly be it's a non-zero chance that we have mass chaos in between now. And I liken it to the rickety bridge. I think it's Jurassic Park 3 when they're crossing the old rickety bridge, and the pterodactyls come swoop down, and it's like gray and foggy, and it's like nighttime, and they have to cross the bridge one at a time. And you might have to cross that little gray, foggy, rickety bridge, and we don't know what's on the other side. We don't know if we're going to make it. And, in this case, we will. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. But we're trying to minimize collateral damage. And I think that's what a lot of Bitcoiners are trying to do. Minimize the collateral damage to ourselves, our family, the people around us, humanity. And that is the pattern recognition that Bitcoiners see. Michelle Weekly just had a tweet about it in the last couple of days. And that's really what Bitcoiners have been able to do. And it's not that Bitcoiners are geniuses or super smart. They've just been through the gauntlet. They've already been through that gauntlet. They've seen the progression. They've recognized the patterns and said, oh my goodness, it's happening. This is happening. We're going there again. Humanity keeps going through these cycles. And this unpreparedness, the more prepared we are, the less we need our overlords. We've been sold this lie, this scam of the money turning into a currency, and the people at the top stealing all of our wealth, our time and energy through that very process. And we've been led to believe that we don't need to be independent. We don't need to be resilient. We don't need anything. We don't need God. We have God as government, and we can just put all our faith and all our eggs in that basket. They're going to give us our health care. They're going to give us our food, the food pyramid. They're going to give us our worship. They're going to give us our social security number. They're going to hand us each of our debt, and on and on and on. That's not how the world works or how it's supposed to be. Do you really believe that you were put here on this earth just to be a number, just to be a debt slave to some government, to a group of men and women somewhere that we don't know where they even exist? I choose not to believe that. There's no way that is why your soul, why you were put here. Again, I could be wrong. I can't believe that's the case. So the time to get prepared is now. Period. We are in a time of insurance buying on every level, and getting as independent and as resilient as we possibly can, so we can withstand the storm, the rickety bridge, so we can get to the other side, so we can get to the unbelievable prosperity and abundance of having cheap to free energy everywhere, small modular nuclear reactors, AI doing jobs for us, doing all the jobs for us. My wife's an attorney. I used to do real estate. All these jobs will go away. Accountants, all these things will free up your time to go do the things you're called to do, spend time with family, to build things, to work with your hands, to have this true fulfillment. And I saw some incredible stats the other day of people that, amount of people, vast majority of people that can't stand the work they're doing, the job they're in. Just imagine those people, how much different life will be, how much more fulfilling, and the love that will then come into existence in life, and the different kind of culture we'll have with people actually doing things that make sense to them and that they love doing instead of things they hate doing. That is the difference. That a true Bitcoiner is not talking about price, because it's not about the price of Bitcoin. It's about how much can we change humanity? How can we realign incentives and bring things back together? But we do have to get across that bridge. That Fiat legacy Titanic is going down, and it's creating waves, and we need to be prepared for that. people in the system, in the fiat system still, and Bitcoiners, people outside the system. Everyone needs to get prepared. That's the thing that scares me, that I keep thinking about right now. So many things to be thankful for and grateful for. Everyone's got their trials and tribulations and the amazing things that are all happening in our lives individually. But I do truly hope that you have a great American Thanksgiving here. And we are so blessed, and I'm so thankful for all the things we do have, and having hope. A black pill is a black pill. A red pill, a lot of times there's not a lot of hope in that. And in my opinion, a lot of gold bugs sit in that zone where you're kind of hoping that the world collapses so that way you can kind of get yours with gold. But in the orange pill, there's hope. There's obviously Jesus in God, and there's a supernatural realm in the upper layer. And then below that, here on earth, we have Bitcoin. We have hope inside that pill, that we don't have to go through that calamity, that chaos. We can have something that we can truly build all of our lives on, that align incentives for all people, and puts us on the same equal ground of fair, just, equitable money. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Please share this out. The algorithms hate truth. They hate truth. So please share this out. It's the only way that we can spread the message and minimize collateral damage. Trust but verify. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. This is not financial advice. It is freedom advice. And let me know what you think. A couple last videos too. We've been trying out some different stuff. I love whiteboarding. It's one of my favorite things. The talking head stuff is not my favorite, but I love doing whiteboards, and we've had a lot of good feedback on X, on YouTube, stuff like that. So please go watch the last couple of videos over the last week or so that we do, and let me know your thoughts there, things you might want to see or things we can improve on. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.